What you doing up there?
I'm just fixing some leaks.
Seriously, dude, you got some time on your hands. I got some properties with paying tenants.
Oh, that's why you came by?
Just go get me my checks.
See you, Brian. Love you, Jason.
Welcome to Between the Joysticks. Press start and then we're off. Nick and John, they've got the sauce. Breaking news and some hot takes. Even if there's some mistakes, Nick is captaining the ship, while John gives thoughts straight from the hip. But when their powers combine, we're all in for a hell of a time. Between the Joysticks, it's the best. Up to 6 things they will address. Tell all your friends and settle in. Between the Joysticks now begins.
Hello there, and welcome to episode 140 of the video game podcast Between the Joysticks. As always, I'm your host, Nick, and I'm joined by my co-host, John. John, how are you feeling this week? We're in the podcast studio, ready to talk a lot of news.
I don't know. You're making me nervous with whatever you're doing with your hands over there. You're rubbing them together like an evil henchman. Now you got them like you're cracking all your knuckles. So I was feeling fine. Now I'm on edge.
Yeah. Maybe I have a scheme coming up here.
Are we about to play a game again?
Yeah, a game or a Marvel Rivals podcast. There's any one thing can happen. No. I'm just trying to get comfortable. I think I've been sitting too long today.
Yes. Me too. When I sit too long, my fingers start to hurt. yeah, that makes sense.
I'm getting jittery, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at.
What's in your Yeti cup over there?
Oh, that's just more sparkling water.
Okay, what's next to that Yeti cup?
Yeah, the Monster. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm chugging coffee right now, so I have no room to talk. But
yeah, I didn't sleep well last night, so I needed the extra boost. I usually don't go for the second energy drink, but
did you start taking some new meds? You need a new bed? What's up?
No,
your girlfriend kicking you too much in the middle?
Yeah,
of the night?
that's part of it. Just this wasn't a good night of sleep.
Yes, guys, Nick actually has a girlfriend. I didn't make that up for the show.
Someone out there can put up with me. So
yep.
But
yeah, it's me. I'm the girlfriend.
You wish.
Yeah. We would be pretty sweet roommates, though. Gaming all day long. No worries in the world.
Oh, that's true. Makes me think about my younger days.
Yeah.
When we talk about when Gears of War came out, that was that time period in my life, the original Gears. So
really, back when I really felt like Pinky in the Brain, where it's like, what are we doing tonight? Fucking same thing, man. We're playing Call of Duty and smoking some dope. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm watching the show Hacks with
really?
my girlfriend, and it's a show about a much older comedian takes on this younger writer to upgrade her material, and a lot of the humor is age based. But on the last episode we watched, they talk about how when you're a young person, you don't have to savor things. You can just do whatever you want and not give a care about it. And I know this is something you put out there a lot. Is like back then you probably gave no mind to a whole night of video games and doing whatever you want, and then now that is like time that you savor
as you continue to spin around this planet. And you realize that I don't get to do the things I like as much as I do, and then that spreads out more, and that spreads out more, and so you better believe when I'm hiking in the mountains somewhere, and I know that this is the one time of every 2 years I'm doing it, like I'm almost a little sad before the trip's even over.
And I know we're not old yet, but this lady's in her 70s, and she talks about even like the idea of having a Snickers, it's like something you have to savor, because it's not like I'll just have another one tomorrow or whenever the hell I feel like. It's just something you take for granted when you're young.
Both the Snickers is going to make me feel icky, but also how many more Snickers am I going to have in life?
right.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. We got really deep here, and it was just a general "How are you doing?" start to the show.
Well, you made me nervous. What can I say? This is the philosophical podcast.
Yeah, we get really deep in this one. I did have to get it back to video games here. I did have there's a couple things bugging me, and one thing we'll talk about later, but. Between last week when Jesse was talking about having the collector's edition of Death Stranding and having the BB, and then pal of the show, Nick, bought the collector's edition of Expedition 33, I just had this thought in my head is like, I want a collector's edition. Like, it's not necessarily that I have to buy it. If it's like $250, I'd probably say no. But boy, I really wish there was a game right now that had a collector's edition. I'm like, I really want that.
Yeah, I mean, in Palla's show, Will's got Alan Wake 2. I've seen that one. That thing's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, does Doom Eternal not have a collector's edition?
It does. Yeah, it does.
It does. I'm sure it does. They all do. But I'm sorry, not Eternal. Doom: The Dark Ages. What do they give you? Do they give you like a Slayer demon?
I don't know
Slayer
off the
head?
top of my head. Again, that would.
Probably just some big creepy looking demon.
Are you looking it up now?
Yeah. It's a Doom Slayer. It's actually a pretty dope Doom Slayer.
Yep,
statue.
there you go.
It's $200. Probably should have looked at that. Oh well. Live and learn.
Well, you can always get it after the fact. Usually they don't sell out of those things, and once the hype dies down, they start showing up on the market.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, you can probably find some like secondary markets, but yeah, it's a 12-inch Doom Slayer statue and then some other bullshit.
And it's like that Doom, like the cool looking Doom.
Yeah,
with
he's got like
shield
the
and-
like Jon Snow like fur cape and the shield, of course, the shield saw, whatever
So
they call
saying
it.
that was available, that was something like you would.
No, I'm with you, man. If $200, I'd rather just buy 3 games. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Well, 2 games now with these new prices.
ooh, good call. No, I'm a patient gamer. All right. No, I mean, yeah, it for to pull the trigger on anything close to that, it's got to have more than just cool factor. It's got to mean something to me. Like a Nier Automata 2, like if they had a collector's edition for that, that would be the one that I'd be like, I should
let's
save
talk
for it.
existing games. What are like, let's say Hades 2 has the collector's edition. They got the main character.
I would say probably not. I don't know. Like it's just, yeah, it's I don't know. Like there's something about the type of game it is too. I don't know. Hades just seems more, I don't know, just not collector edition like type.
Interesting.
Um,
The Bloodborne 2
yeah, if that existed.
hunter statue.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a time where I've wanted to, because they make these and you got to pay out the ass for them, but to get like a legit replica Leviathan axe and put that on the wall.
Yeah, we
like,
talked about that.
That
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
dope. Some cool. Because like I don't know, I'm of two minds with all the collector stuff. It's like on one hand I'm looking at this Doomslayer statue and it's amazing. On the other hand, it's 12 inches. And it's just going to sit on a shelf in the corner. Like, I would want it to be like a centerpiece. Like, the BB thing is probably like a centerpiece. A Leviathan X, that's like you walk into my basement, you'd see that, and you'd be like, what the fuck? Versus, like, hey, that's just an action figure looking guy. So the Ghost of Yote mask, kind of, that's more on the cool side. It's like unique. It's going to catch your eye when you see it.
We're finding a little bit about
just not like, just not a big statue of a cool guy from the game, but,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I just want to want one. Like I said, not necessarily buy one, but maybe Wolverine will be that one.
Sorry, my brain's turning now. How dope would it be to have the Leviathan X and then also like a chainsaw shield next to it? Like that'd be sweet. Just have like all these awesome weapons on your wall. Blades of Chaos.
Yeah, people might be a little freaked out not knowing if they don't know what those all are.
Fair.
They're like,
yeah,
Jesus.
but my basement's also very nerdy, and like you're gonna
yeah,
see.
yeah. No, I'm sure, but I
maybe
like
not very nerdy, but
like your mother-in-law goes down there and she's like,
my pearls,
weapons
clutch
every-
my pearls.
yeah. Oh my, and then faints.
Who did my daughter marry?
Yeah.
She's only known me for 19 years.
So yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, and they're still coming out. Like you mentioned the Ghost one, but yeah, there's just not one that like either the game itself is not a strong enough pull, and then what they're offering is not strong enough yet. But
I don't know.
We'll
if this,
get there.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like a tease for the topics of the episode, but there is a game. Like, there's a game coming out next year that might have something that could. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah,
what could that possibly be?
Yeah.
And we're referring to Grand Theft Auto 6. Yes, we're going to talk about it on the show today. So, in case you're wondering, but
even still, it's like I don't think I could do it before the game came out because they're new characters. I don't have the attachment to them.
Yeah, it's a character.
I might not
like,
even
I
like
like
them.
her, and then you hate her in the game.
Right.
You're like, fuck.
Lucia sucks or something like that. I don't know.
Can't believe she did that to Jason.
Yeah. So, just something that was in my mind. Just kind of just thinking about it. Like, probably Wolverine. Maybe Hades too if it has a cool one. Because I just love the Hades art style.
That's true.
If there was one of that main character, maybe.
In fairness, I have thought of like that the Hades logo. That's like kind of the I don't know. It's like a tuning fork that goes down. I don't know how else to explain it. I've thought about that as a tattoo before. I think that'd be kind of cool to have.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Anyway,
that's another topic. Just nerd tattoos. But we should probably get in the show because there's a lot of news items.
Yeah.
So this is how the show works. John and I can bring up to 3 things to talk about for a total of 6 things. And in fact, for this very episode, we have 6 things to talk about. Those 6 things can be a news item. It can be a game we're playing. It can be a topic, a Reddit thread. But it can also be from you, the listener. If you want to be heard on this show, write in at betweenthejoysticks@gmail.com. Send us a Twitter DM at joystickspod. You can follow us there for updates on the show. Or you can comment on any of our YouTube videos at Between the Joysticks. Any of those things, we can bring it and we can talk about it. And we'll start with kind of the big news for the big game, Grand Theft Auto 6, the game that's going to change the world, literally. Biggest game out there, most anticipated game at the Game Awards. But unfortunately, it's not going to come out in 2025.
What?
And that guy shouldn't be saying what, John, because you can pat yourself on the back. You nailed one of your predictions.
I know.
You did.
I did.
John, back in January, predicted that Grand Theft Auto 6 would not make it this year. I had a similar prediction, but I predicted the single player would make it, not the online. But as of right now, all the above is going to happen because they announced on May 1st that GTA 6 will not make it this year at all. It'll be coming May 26th of 2026. John, you can pat yourself on the back, but also, what do you think of the delay?
Yeah, I mean, I although I did predict it in January, it is still surprising to see,
Sure.
when a game has been in development for this long. But I think it makes a lot of sense. We don't know what the development of this game has been. We know that it exceeds billions of dollars in development costs, which is bananas. And that it's been in development for 12 years, but did it get rebooted along the way? Has with the Hauser brothers leaving the company, did that?
Where are you pulling that information from?
What information?
The 12 years and billions of dollars it cost. Are you talking about the random Reddit post that posted that?
Well, 12 years, I'm just going based off of when GTA 5 released, right? Of course, I guarantee you they started storyboarding 6 right after that. It's not like...
Sure, but Red Dead came out and then online became a big thing during that time
Sure.
as well.
All right, maybe I'll pull back the development wording. But, it has been, it's been something that has been... at least in the offices of Rockstar for 12
Sure.
years now, and they're at least thinking about it. So, this is going to be the biggest game that's ever been released, and I don't think that's an overstatement to say. And so, it has to be absolutely perfect. We're gonna talk more about this game here in a little bit. I don't know how you like me with teases here, but we did get more information about this than just the game getting delayed. And when you look at what they've done with it and how it looks at this point, makes perfect sense why it's taking this long. But I know there's a ton of people that are disappointed about it. That they thought it would be this year, whether it's people that picked it in a fantasy league or people that just wanted to get their hands on it. It's upsetting, to see that. Luckily for me, it's nothing that I'm too eagerly anticipating, so I can kind of let
we'll
this
get
one...
into that.
Yeah, I know. So I can let this one slide a little bit, but it definitely hurts for all you folks that were kind of... Would you say it was a fair... how much did you let yourself believe I'm playing this game this fall? How far...
No.
If 100%...
No.
But where did you get? Where you're like, oh, okay.
Not until, like I said, I think as we talked about in this show, we were on it was another prediction on the show was correct. We were at a DEF CON level for news of GTA, right? We thought if May or June there was no GTA news at all, then the 2026 thing was really hot. But of course, this game has investors involved and shareholders involved, so they had to get ahead of that. But no, I wasn't until we got another trailer. I was not confident that it was going to make it.
Did you... I felt this was kind of weird. When they made this announcement and they're like, hey, we're sorry, we're delaying it. And they threw the date of May 26th. I don't know why. I just thought that was still a placeholder date. It's weird to me that they actually dated this thing this far in advance. It's that's such a weird move to
I
me.
do think that, again, is another shareholder thing.
And just another... we need to put it...
yeah.
This is what we're aiming for.
To satisfy,
yeah.
the people that are... Because again, this will... GTA 5 almost sold $1 billion in a day. This game will, of course. So I think, that they're just getting ahead of shareholders and everything else by placing a date. Now, how is my confidence on that date as well? I don't know.
I don't know.
You can't trust Rockstar.
No, you can't. Yeah, and you can't really trust any type of development. Whether this was a movie, a show, a novel being written. You can't you could be the best project manager in the world, but you
Right.
can't solidify something that far in advance. So yeah, sure, they're aiming for it, but like, maybe they move it up and they're like, hey, we did it quicker than we thought, and it's like, hey, it's May 4th, or maybe they're like, yeah, sorry, fall. I don't know, but
right.
Yeah,
and it's it's going to have, and to your point about, it's got to be the best game. I mean, it's got to be a 10-year game, right? Just like GTA 5. So
and it will be.
it's got to come out of the gate cooking. But also, this is going to have a big impact on the industry as a whole. There hasn't been a lot of reasons to buy into new consoles because everything has been either PS5, PS4, or Xbox One, Xbox Series X, or there just isn't a lot of games. And like this would have driven so many consoles. So the bigger impact on the industry is felt. And I'm sure if people were planning on releasing games after this game came out to a larger install base, I'm sure they're disappointed as well. This is far-reaching as an impact.
Well, especially with these weird rumors that, it's potential we see PlayStation 6 in 2027, which is like, there's no concrete evidence on that at all.
No.
But like, if that is a thing that happens, it's like, man, this is like not a swan song, but yeah, this is kind of towards the end of that generation. It feels a little differently.
I don't quite believe that.
I don't either. I
not
think,
anymore.
No, not with everything that's happening.
As we'll talk about, tease more topics later in the show. It hurts. It hurts.
What do you think about Xbox Series S being listed as one of the one of the consoles? For
that thing will catch on fire running this game. I don't know.
Switch 2?
It only helps, right, that this game, but like this project as big as it is, not announced for PC yet. They'll get these consoles, and then we'll see if Switch 2 and other platforms get a taste. PC for sure will, but Switch 2 maybe.
Amazon Luna?
Yeah. But before we move on to talk about how they backed this up, because everyone was very upset that there was no content accompanying this new release date, but how do you feel the strength of this year? Now, we said 2023 all-time banger year. I was beating the drum for 2024 being a big year. This year we thought was going to be the big year, but now that Grand Theft Auto 5 or 6 is gone, Hades 2 is gone, Fable's gone.
Well, Hades 2 is gone for us, like for PlayStation players.
Right. Earthblade's gone. South of Midnight not setting the world on fire. Is this year going to be really good? Better than last year? How are you feeling on your little? You're used to rubbing it in my face. Now that the big game's gone.
I still feel like the games that we're going to have by the end of the year puts this firmly in the like better than most years type thing, right? We're still getting Doom Eternal. We're still going to get Ghost of Yote. There's probably going to be a couple other things that we don't know when they're going to drop. Donkey Kong Bonanza might be dope. There's still a lot. Like when I look back at some of the years that were not the best in the world, like something like maybe 2021, just looking at OpenCritic real quick, it's like, yeah, we had Forza Horizon 5, but that's not really that exciting of a release. It's a fifth sequel into something we know. Yeah. You had Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and Psychonauts 2 and
Returnal.
Deathloop. Yeah, but you had those kind of games, but like, I'm not going to sit here and say that Returnal, like it might speak to me more, but like then it's going to be a better game than Doom: The Dark Ages. So I think we're still on track for a very good year. The absence of one or even two games getting pushed, I don't think can sink or swim an entire year. But Claire was a huge boon for it. Like if Claire was a middling release,
that's true.
Then I maybe would be a little more. Bearish is the bad one, right? Bearish is when you don't think.
You asked me this before on the show.
Yeah, I can never keep them straight. They see bulls and bears are both terrifying. I don't know why. Like one's bad and one's good. But if I lost my bulls and bears threw me off. But no, I think this year is still shaping up to be pretty.
Yeah,
good.
A new console's coming out. It'll probably be at least stronger than last year. Maybe not 2023 strong, but
right.
Okay. Well, not to be outdone. And I will say one of the funny side notes to this is as we're going to attack John about his thoughts on this series, he was the person who broke the news to me for both of these items.
I was so happy.
He texted me about the Grand Theft Auto delay, and then he saw the megaton announcement, just casually walks up. Are you guys watching that Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer?
Nick is strutting. I don't strut, for the record.
Yeah, he has got this gumpy walk. He's all like his head bobbing.
I am gumpy,
and his arms were moving, and it's really silly.
Oh, you guys talking about the trailer?
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, you guys talking about that Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer? And we're like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's sure enough, Grand Theft. Avoiding the conflict of the first trailer leaking early, Rockstar just dropped, the second trailer for the game.
Yeah.
And we got almost, 3 minutes of a story trailer showing off, the more of the relationship between Jason and Lucia and kind of the antics that they're going to get up to. We get to see a lot of the side characters, what will ultimately be the quest givers. And then we start as most Rockstar trailers and games start as kind of, the monotony of everyday life. Jason's fixing this house. Lucia's doing some probation work, and then escalating into fights on an airplane, jumping on the back of a moving truck, and all kinds of, guns pointing, heist, robberies. And the story just keeps escalating and escalating till the very end here, and pretty much just confirms what everyone just thought, that this is a Bonnie and Clyde love story, which the YouTube trailer had this description that Jason and Lucia have always known the deck is stacked against them, but when an easy score goes wrong, they find themselves on the darkest side of the sunniest place in America, in the middle of a criminal conspiracy stretching across the state of Leonida, which is their Florida, forced to rely on each other more than ever if they want to make it out alive. And John, let's get your thoughts on this trailer. What did you think?
Looks amazing, man. Like, I can sing two songs at the same time, right? I can sing the I'm not sure I'm gonna really vibe with this, but also just objectively looking at the trailer, it's the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen from a video game standpoint. Like the environments especially just look so flippin' good, and the character models and the attention to detail and the ray tracing and the focus that they show with their product is incredible. And that was kind of what I was alluding to earlier with, once you see this trailer, it totally just take your we have to release this in the state that people expect it. We've shown it now, so we're gonna make sure that this thing is buttoned up, ready to go. But yeah, it looks absolutely incredible. It looks like they are really capturing the vibe that you want, right? Grand Theft Auto is all about lampooning American society and the things that make us great, but also often the things that make us really shitty. So, that's what this game's going to do, and Florida is the perfect place for that. And, not that I don't think anybody was going to doubt that they could pull it off. This was just solidification that they did. One thing I would love to know is, I was actually coming into the podcast yesterday thinking no gameplay, no hype, and then I rewatched the trailer, right? And I was like, no, there's a decent amount of gameplay in this, and I think they've come out and said since that it's a mixture of gameplay and cinematics, and I still am waiting for my big meaty let me just see 15 minutes of this game. I mean, that's what I want from every single game when it's released, right? That's the final thing of okay, you can show me all the cinematics you want. You can tell me the narrative here, but until I see what I'm going to be doing and how it looks and how it plays, then I can't really get super hyped. But you and everybody else here at work, continue saying you're going to play this game. Yes, I'm going to play this game. Right? I know what's going to happen is I'm not going to buy it. Nick's going to buy it. He's going to get through it. It's going to be the second coming of Christ. I'll see the 97 review scores, and I'm going to have to at least see for myself. It's going to be I have to see for myself. And hopefully I'm in a good place mentally, and I'm not a cynical asshole at the time, and I can absorb it. But I'm happy for all you guys, happy for everybody who's been this is the one game that many people have just been waiting for, and so to see it come, to see it show as well as it did. Nobody really is saying anything bad about the trailer. Everybody's pumped. If anything, it's just I don't want to wait a year. So
right.
Looks
Waiting
pretty.
is the hardest part.
Yeah, so I'm sure inevitably they'll do that one breakdown of it where it's in Grand Theft Auto, you can go do this and this
Yes.
and this and this. And
So
you know.
to your point about like how it plays, it's like, well, we know the general idea
Right.
of how it's going to play. It's just as John has harped on this franchise in the past, is it doesn't play typically well.
Developer.
And to him, I think they do focus more on the sim than it being like a feel like really good gameplay, because I think making it more of a sim makes the more wacky situations and more clippable parts of the game feel more crazy and wild, because you can't just dodge and roll out of the way of a car and you get those fun ragdoll physics. But yeah, to your point about that trailer that we'll eventually get, that'll go into like the like they usually kind of place them like a state, advertisement. We're from Michigan, so pure Michigan ads. It's like we'll probably get that kind of ad for this state.
What was the name of the state? Leonida?
Yeah, Leonidas.
Yeah.
Leonida.
Leonida. Okay.
And Vice City here, that we'll get a similar trailer that will show off all the side activities you can do. Maybe they'll get more into like, because even in the original Vice City, you bought businesses and you ran businesses, and that was something that was added to GTA Online later. So that could be something that's shown here. But yeah, a lot of the what Rockstar does best, like again, that attention to detail. The fact that you can have what is it when your exhaust explodes on your car when you're driving?
The muffler?
Yeah, the muffler.
When it explodes? Backfire?
Yeah, backfires, and
Yeah.
you could in GTA 5 you could light a line of gasoline using the backfire of your car.
Oh, that's cool.
Because it had weird systems like that, and so it'll be nice to see what the current gen touches will be on this franchise that hasn't had an update, in a very long time. But yeah, to your point of, it looks incredible. It proves that the game is in so far so good hands, and I really can't level a single complaint against the trailer at all. I'm really excited to play it. I'm excited to have this dual narrative. I'm curious as how they are going to handle having two main characters like this that are so intertwined and seem to be in a lot of cutscenes together. I don't know if there will be a co-op or you just get to choose which character you play, and then the other character is just an NPC for certain missions. But again, we have a year to find all that out. But
Yeah.
To satiate why we're waiting was a good move by them, because again, this game looks incredible.
Yeah, I'm really curious how big it's going to be, because there's shots of the beach and the city, and then also the swamps and the backwaters, hillbilly aspect of Florida. And I will say, if this is something that I latch onto, and hopefully it is, but I'm way more excited to explore the swampy, bayou-y type things than going into my I don't really care about crime bosses and partying and that kind of stuff. So that vibe, is going to be is what it is. But I want to go see some people getting eaten by gators and that kind of shit. So some dumb hillbilly redneck character that I just want to see what ridiculous thing he's about to say.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 had that in spades, and I can't even imagine what you could just wander. You're just in the swampland, and just what you'll come across, and what creepy and weird stuff of just exploring Vice City and the surrounding areas will be.
Sorry, I didn't mean. So I was just gonna say, looking at Leonida is the official pronunciation. Okay. Leonida.
Yeah. Florida. I'll just say Florida.
Sure. Sure. Vice City. That's all that matters.
And that's always I didn't mind Grand Theft Auto's 5 story, but it was a little out there. It got really wild, and it was a little hard to weave the 3-person narrative that game did. And then it was fine. Again, it was just to get you to the action set pieces and cool moments. But it would be nice if Grand Theft Auto can tell a story on the level that Red Dead Redemption 2 did, and also have all the trappings that come with a Grand Theft Auto game. That would just be the cherry on the top, is to really get invested and involved in these characters. And so far, I am.
Yeah, Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if, like, now that there's a date out there, do we see, granted, we're going into E3 time right now anyway, so we were bound to get a bunch of release dates, but if, like, there's like, okay, cool, throw them out, and then obviously, conversely, everybody's looking at next May and going, all right, like, and that's an interesting time, too, because, again, that's going to get released right around the E3 time when everybody else is trying to get the focus of their games, and people be like, I don't care, I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 6. Like,
right.
It's kind of interesting. I'm sure there's no intention there, but regardless, it'll not only suck the oxygen out of the room from other games being played, but even just, hey guys, there's other stuff happening throughout the year. So
I wish I have nothing but love. I've watched the trailers multiple times, and it's just that vibe. They get it. They got the homework assignment. I know we talked a lot of previously that this is one of the first games without the Hauser involvement, the same
Right.
the writer that has been written the previous games it looks good.
But you also can't pretend that with a team of over 1,000 people that like one guy was the guy.
Yeah.
Like, there's obviously always people at the helm that lead it around. There's a reason Kojima and Druckmann's games are good because they're overseeing things. But to say that Dan Hauser wrote every piece of dialogue in every single game that he had his hands on is not true. So. Yeah. All right. Good for you guys.
Yeah.
Hooray! Grand Theft Auto 6. Yay!
Well, to your point, I hope it's something that can capture you as well.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a big, like, it should be a thing that even if you're like, hey, play this, I'm done with it now. I go, okay, but let me start it when I want to start it, right? Because this is going to be a game that you probably will never want to sell back, right? It's probably just a game you're going to have forever.
If I get physical, it will be a question.
Yeah, sure. Well, if you better get physical, how am I going to play it? I'm not.
Well, hopefully it has a really nice collector's edition. We'll see how that goes.
You can get Trevor's butt plug from GTA 5.
I will say one of the cool things about all the Rockstar games is even the base edition always comes with the cool map.
Yeah.
And not that it's like overly useful, but especially when you're just learning the game and the world, to not have to pull up the map and just look at a physical map. There's some kind of like, old school Nintendo SNES booklet feel to that.
For anybody who played games in the PS1 and PS2 generation, it's nostalgia. It doesn't matter what's in there. It's like, oh, it's a booklet. It's just having something there and being able to check it out is always cool. So.
Yeah, and as far as like going forward, I expect this to be silent for. I mean, we hadn't had anything since December of 2023 to this point, so expect silence until probably next year. Yeah,
I mean, the earliest I could see them talking is if they want to give Jeff Keighley the biggest fucking boner he's ever had in his life and say, hey, we want to announce some stuff here or around even the time. But yeah, I would anticipate probably looking at a January, February type, assuming this date sticks and the trajectory is all the same, probably somewhere around there.
Yeah, I would say for those gameplay videos you're talking about, I would say January.
Yeah,
if everything's on track. So
right.
If we don't start getting those by January, February, maybe another delay is coming.
If everything's copacetic.
All right, so let's move on from Grand Theft Auto 6 to another news topic, some more concerning news as the state of the video game industry is getting a little more dire. We talked about Nintendo Switch 2, and it's raising the prices of not only its games from 70 to 80, but also its accessories, all seeing a price increase as the global economics continually affect electronics. And the question is who's next? And now we know, unfortunately, and that is Microsoft and Xbox.
Ooh.
They are raising the prices of all of their consoles and accessories. I'm not going to go through all of them, but the Xbox Series S is now $430. The Xbox Series X is now $600, up from $500. And then all the accessories are raising in price. And then they're on select Xbox first-party games are also going to make the jump to $80. Here we go.
Yeah.
And sometimes I always look back and I go, yeah, why didn't I see this coming? Because Xbox pushes Game Pass, so they're not as concerned with game prices as the other platforms are. So they want to push subscriptions more than anything. But it is a little dire to see, 4 years into a console generation, in which other generations the console goes down in price, to see the Xbox console rise in price and by a significant margin. $100 is nothing to sneeze at. What do you think, John?
Yeah, ain't good. Yeah, I mean, this not fully, unexpected. Microsoft said that, a lot of the reasons of this was due to tariffs and economic, realities just coming to fruition. But also, I would imagine it's every single company in the world is going like, cool, this is the time because we can use that as kind of a, right? even if we've been thinking about that, we could use it. And
Right,
I'm not saying,
for sure.
that's what it is. But I don't know, man. I mean, for a competitor that was already on the back foot, that has seemingly given their consumers absolutely no reason to purchase their hardware, but given them every reason to subscribe, I just can't. I want to talk to somebody who's going to fork over $430 for an Xbox Series S right now. Like, that's just an ill-informed consumer to me. It's either an ill-informed consumer or it's a fanboy, and that's fine if you're one of those two. But like these prices,
Well, if you want an Xbox, you don't have a choice at this point.
right? But like, why would you like? It's just interesting that the price goes up at the same
Are
time.
you saying why would you get an Xbox?
Why would anybody at this, like, it's just very, why would you spend $100 more for an Xbox Series X right now than you could get a PS5 for? It's just an incredibly, maybe it's just, this is the economic realities. It's the only thing we can do. But the same arguments as before even the price increase. It's a Game Pass machine. So you subscribe to Game Pass. But I feel like you take the little bit of a, I don't know where the line is for where they need to price these things to make a profit. But I would even say, dude, if you're Microsoft, you eat a little bit of that. You keep it at the same. I don't know how this makes sense and how this gains them money, right? Because at the end of the day, every corporation's out there to maximize their profits, to make sure that the shareholders, if it's a publicly traded company, are getting their value. So, maybe they see data that I don't, but, just looking at, everything except for their controllers is just kind of bananas to me.
Yeah.
Like $730 for a 2 terabyte Galaxy Special. Like, why is that even a thing to buy? Who's buying that? Who's buying a 512 gigabyte Xbox Series S for $380 when you can go buy for $20 more a PS5?
Yeah,
when you've went and you've said none of our games are exclusive anymore. Teaser again for this show. We're going to talk about another one, and which only really leaves, in my estimation, one major franchise left. And so it's a real situation that they had to address, but it's just more reason why Xbox is moving away to be a publisher.
Yeah, we've said multiple times that the move away from hardware, the whole making their games available on other platforms, the whole this is an Xbox campaign. I got an advertisement on my LG TV that's like, hey, you can get the Xbox app and play Xbox games on this without a console at all. So yeah, it is like that they're not as concerned with hardware as they used to be. But to your point, it does seem weird to give up on the box because the box is the best thing, right? It's you get everything when people have the box. People have to go to your store and have to go and do everything through you, as opposed to going through these other services and platforms to get to you. But
it's wild, man. It's so far removed from how it was when we were growing up, and to say that the cheapest you could have bought a console was in this generation was the day it was launched just feels gross. It just feels wrong. It just feels like things are fucked. And it's not just in the gaming world. I was looking at, back in 2002, they had GameCubes on sale for $49. And it launched at $200, but that's still a price reduction of 75%. And maybe it was like a specific like Black Friday deal or something like that. But it just hurts and it sucks. And the people out there. You and I are fortunate enough that this is a major hobby of ours, but so we're willing to fork it over. But it's just going to be less and less people that are willing to kind of make that jump. And this is just the first domino to fall. I would imagine we're going to see more things come up.
And it has unfortunately happened when Game Pass is on fucking fire as far as releases.
Yeah,
at the same time, everyone's like Game Pass is an incredible value right now that they do this, but.
I mean,
So what is the first $80 Xbox game?
Fable?
That's next year.
Yeah.
I bet you it's
What
Call
are they?
of Duty.
What are they? Oh yeah, good. Yeah, good call. Sorry, I still forget that that's them. Yeah. I mean, what else do they have coming out this year?
Outer Worlds 2.
Okay.
And
It's much harder for me to go rifle through the Xbox.
yeah,
studios
Doom's
than it
about to
is.
be out next week.
Yeah.
After that, I think it is. Yeah, it's Ninja Gaiden 4. It's another one.
That one doesn't feel like 80 for some reason. I don't know.
No, yeah, that's why I'm thinking like they do it with Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Big budget, big game.
Mm.
That it gets the $80 price tag, and,
They
and,
know.
and the audience will pay for it.
Yeah,
so,
100%. Yeah, it's not going to affect sales really.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's how much do you think the PS6 is going to cost?
Well, you're getting into my next thing. I don't even have to go to the PS6. When does PlayStation do the same?
Oh yeah, no, they're going to go.
When does the PS5 the base disc model $600, and the PS5 Pro is up $480 or something?
It's anybody's guess.
Or
I
not
mean,
PS5 Pro, PS5 Digital is $480.
when is it? I mean,
If maybe you say it doesn't happen at
yeah,
all.
I'm gonna say something crazy. I think PlayStation just stays put.
That is crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was interesting that Ghost of Yotei didn't get the price bump that
Didn't-
we
that didn't get-
kind of thought. It's
And
$70.
the Switch 2 didn't go up, and I'm just wondering if there's some sort of like little bit of armor that these top dogs have, where they're able to kind of.
Their
shake it
consoles are
off.
selling as opposed
Right,
to Xbox.
right. They're going to
not
continue to
hurting.
sell. I don't know how well, Sony distributed the consoles around the world to make sure that, they have the things, they don't have to pay import costs here and there and wherever they need to. But I don't know. I think that there's value to be had with PlayStation just kind of continuing to they need consumer goodwill. Like that's every single company needs that, and that's just another way to do it. I don't think I'd love to know how much these things cost them to manufacture. Like that's the one.
Yeah,
the one
and
piece we don't have.
where they're primarily built. That helps as well.
But I would say if Sony does raise prices, it could be tomorrow. It could be 7 months from now. I mean, they're not going to do it at an award show, right? They're not going to be like, hey guys, we got good news for you. You can pay more now. It's just going to be a random thing that
I wonder
shows
if
up.
it'll be a fall announcement.
Yeah, probably fall. It would feel gross if they did it right before Ghost of Yotei. Maybe they just do it for the holiday season.
When you think about like who's hurt by Grand Theft Auto not coming out is PlayStation, right? The premier. It's not coming out on PC. It's launching on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. And again, there's the PS5 is the preferred hardware platform out there, selling just dominating Xbox.
Well, it looks like it got
hurts.
the marketing rights for Grand Theft Auto 2. I mean, everything that they came out with was just covered.
That is captured on PS5.
All is captured on PS5. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. Buy your shit now. Buy it now. If you want a PS5 Pro, Nick.
Wow! You're reading my notes because this is the other thing bugging me. Is to get a PS5 Pro now?
To get it or not to get it?
Because it is bugging me. Because if it goes up in price and is now an $800 console, it's getting more and more into the. It's because it's a luxury item to begin with. It's not.
Yeah.
But again, everyone who's gotten one, there was a thread on the PS5 subreddit today about is it worth it? And everyone's of course saying, yeah, of course. If you have the TV, well, I have the TV now, and again,
Well, let's look up what's GameStop going to give you. Let's see. Let's see.
Well, that's the other tricky part to my situation because I opened mine. So if they check for that.
I would try. Like seriously, like I'm gonna look right now, but like I can't remember what it was. I turned something in and they did just like it's fine, bro. Don't worry about it. You just got to make. That's why I've befriended my GameStop guy. You got to befriend him.
So yeah, we'll have to take it to your GameStop.
Yeah, give it to me and then I'll do it for you.
But let's just leave that part of the equation out of it. But should I just jump in now and fear that it's going to increase in price? And again, speaking of Grand Theft Auto 6, it's not coming to PC. Theoretically, the PS5 Pro is the best spot to play that game in the highest quality at that time, a year from now.
Yeah. Do it, pussy.
Oh, okay.
Come on, do it.
All right.
Listen, Listen, you've been talking about a PS5 Pro.
I have not been talking about it.
You've been talking
The
about
TV more than anything.
You've been talking about PS5 Pro since we've really seen them. So I think you've been doing well at work here.
Well,
you've
To be fair, I said either before Ghost of Yote or Grand Theft Auto 6, whatever happens first. Those were my countdown timers.
So we're before both of those things technically.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I
I mean,
got time.
I mean, yeah. I think if you are going to be a salty boy if Grand Theft Auto 6 has these special specs and you're not doing it, you're going to be fine. You'll be like, that's fine, I don't play it, but you're going to be mad about it. So I don't know. I mean, right now GameStop's looking at about $320. It would give you if you could do it. Yeah, man. Yeah, YOLO, bro.
Yeah,
YOLO. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Only you can make that decision, my friend.
I know.
Because I really should. It's long overdue. Go over to Will's and just be like, let me see your PS5 Pro. Let me see the shit. Just to really, because I still find it. I still struggle to say really, is it really worth it just to see a little bit crispier? I don't know.
It's just like anything. It's like you're fine with it. Like you don't notice. But I was just telling the story the other day of I was playing. I think it was Miles Morales on PS5 in graphics mode. And then maybe 10 hours in was like, let me switch to the performance mode and see the difference. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
And then I couldn't go back. And so it's probably the same thing. It's like you're fine because you don't know any better. But the second you play, a PS5 Pro enhanced game that you're like, you just finished Rebirth.
That would have been a good one to check out with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that is one you pause that game, you're like, oh, it's so fuzzy. Oh my God. Why? But then I'll play
so spoiled.
I know, right? But then I'm playing Nine Souls, which is just obviously it's like a 2D Metroidvania, not power intensive at all. It's so the lines are so clear and perfect. So it's like maybe I do appreciate it. It's just the games I typically gravitate towards don't require that much power, and I don't know. But yeah, do it, pussy.
You're no help here. But
am I ever?
We'll see. It's on. It's eating away at me, along with those collector's editions. Something I should just do and get over with, and just be like, my setup is perfect, and I'm here. I got this till whatever the next console generation is. So.
Well, Nick and I kind of have a little pseudo game at work where if one of us leaves our computers unlocked, we'll change the background of Fat Aloy, which is a funny little picture if you want to go look up Fat Aloy. Maybe I'll just start making a PS5 Pro, just to
damn it.
Needle you.
All right, well, let's move on. The video game industry will hopefully, survive all this. This year is getting rough. But we did get some interesting news, some good news, and that is a premier franchise for Xbox is getting a remaster, and it is coming to all platforms, including PS5. John, did you think in your wildest dreams you would see Gears of War on a PlayStation?
Pre 3 years ago? No, absolutely no. But I if you recall, I believe I was very bullish. I believe on when they started. What was that first? It was Pentiment, Grounded,
Hi-Fi Rush,
and Hi-Fi Rush. When they started doing that, and we started to speculate on this, and started to when Phil Spencer was just saying dumb things all the time with Sarah Bond and the other guy, Matt Booty. It's why would you not bring everything? If you're going to start doing this, it makes absolutely no sense not to.
You're right. I got to hand it to you because I was against you on that point. I was like, well, and you were like, well, why don't they do it? And I was like, well, because they care about the people buying their consoles currently. But obviously,
raise the price on those.
Obviously, I'm an idiot. Sometimes I'm not always right. And John's right. Here we are. Gears of War Reloaded. A remaster of the 2006 game is coming August 26th of this year for $40. Before we get into more talk about the game itself, what's your history with Gears of War?
I've definitely beaten the first one. It's a college game for me. I was at Michigan State University from 2007 to 2011. And so my best friend who lived in the dorms with me, he was that stereotypical college kid that wouldn't go to class, would wake up at 4 and then just play video games all night, and he flunked out his first semester.
Yeah.
Love you, Tony. He played it all the fucking time, And so I would go over there and I would like kind of just watch him because he was real good. Where, you know, this is taking the cover and jumping out and doing the shotgun thing to blowing a guy's body half across or half.
Yeah, his upper
blowing
half
it half off, or using the torque bow, which is a really unique weapon in Gears of War. It's kind of like a bow and arrow that as you draw it back, it gets tauter, and so, you know, and if you stick somebody, it just explodes them. And so it was a really unique kind of multiplayer experience at the time because all we were really ever doing besides that was Call of Duty and just these basic first-person shooters. And so, just dabbled with it a little bit, and I wasn't very good, but every once in a while I would have these matches where, you feel sick. If you're like hiding behind cover, dude doesn't know you're there, he's running past you, you jump out, shotgun him real quick, do that. You know, it was the first game with the active reload, which was, I love that mechanic. Like, I almost wish every game had that. Love active reloads.
Explain that mechanic.
So when you're reloading, you can either just hit the reload button and it just kind of takes a little bit longer to do, or there's probably a little sweet spot in this bar. You know, it's got a little slider that's kind of going across, and if you can time it up perfectly in that sweet spot, you probably get a bonus of reloading faster, obviously, which gets you back, and then sometimes you'll even get bonuses with your damage output.
Yeah.
So it's just a little way to kind of make you feel more engaged, and you can put together a good sequence.
Yeah.
But Gears is dope, man. I don't know if I've ever done 2 or 3. I wish this package had more than just the first one, so I could try that, but I imagine we'll see those coming too.
Yeah. Gears of War, you know, was a third-person shooter, kind of set the bar. You know, chest-high walls was a joke for the longest time because every environment in Gears has chest-high walls, so you can take cover and
you
shoot
see
over
it
them.
And you go, oh no, time to fight.
Yeah, that I'm gonna get in a gun battle. But yeah, Gears was known for definitely its unique weaponry, the torque bow that you talk about, the shotgun roll,
The Lancer.
the Lancer, which is an assault rifle with a chainsaw on it. So when you get close to enemies, you chainsaw them in half. And then again, a Xbox franchise. And so, this remaster looks to be kind of in the same light as of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Mm-hmm. Just like Unreal 5, just up-res, 4K visuals, 60 FPS single player, 120 FPS multiplayer. New textures, better lighting. That same package that I feel like we're going to get for quite a few of these Unreal games.
Mm-hmm. We have some canaries in the coal mine currently, folks, and their names are Oblivion and Gears of War, and we're going to see all sorts of games from this generation get remade in this way.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fine, honestly, for me.
As we just saw with Oblivion Remaster, it's the third best-selling game of the year right now, or one up there. It's one of the top games of the year with Split Fiction and Monster Hunter Wilds and
the show.
Assassin's Creed.
And the show, I think. The show's up there.
Yeah. So obviously this idea works, and so are you in?
Probably not day one.
Were you Dom or Marcus?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I was gonna say that, like, honestly, the story is not here for the story. I don't care about Marine Bros and fighting for each other and coming together as brotherhoods. And I don't care.
So I have played all of them up through Judgment, which was technically quote unquote 4 at the time, and then Gears 4, the official Gears 4 eventually came out, and then Gears
I think that was
5.
People Can Fly that did that one. Judgment.
Yes, they did. Yep. That broiness that you're talking about just really just wears on me, and the mechanics of the game, just third person shooter, cover shooter over and over again, just different encounters.
So I'm just seeing there's an article that says Gears of War, the ancient chest high wall simulator is coming to PlayStation.
I'm kind of just done. It's a franchise that of its time, but I just don't look back on in any kind of fondness.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting to see. I want to know how. Sorry to cut you off. I just realized you had a lot more to say than I thought you did.
No, you're fine. I asked John how he feels about the franchise, his history, and he goes on, and then he doesn't send it back to me.
You're the host. You guide
and
these
then
things.
I start talking, and he just talks over me.
Now I forgot what I was going to say.
Good. Yeah, good.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm sure. So if you want you want to play it, it's
Oh,
there.
I know what I was gonna say. I'm still kind of waiting to see. I want to know how Microsoft is treating their like releases and like their sales schedule. Like, will this go on sale, or is this going to be $40 forever? If it's $40 forever, like I'll probably just buy it eventually. Like, my son is not ready for this yet, but eventually he will be. Like, what 14-year-old boy doesn't want to cut up aliens in half with a chainsaw? But nothing that I'm going to be clamoring for the day it comes out.
Okay.
Kind of how I feel
Fair
like
enough.
with I want Forza Horizon 5 right now, but I'm not going to pay $60 for it. I'm just not going to.
It's true. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, to all these games you're talking about, it's just like, yeah, the floodgates are officially open. It's just now everything is on the table. Your other prediction of the year, the Master Chief Collection coming.
Yeah.
That'll probably see an announcement.
Yeah, I doubt at this point a release date for the year, but I could see an announcement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. So just a matter of time. And again, yeah, with the cost of video games getting higher, it makes sense to release these quick to make, high sellers, these classic franchises, and bring them to the current generation. As like I said, Oblivion not always looks the best, but I am impressed with how nice it looks now that I'm finally get to experience it. So
and I'll be the asshole. Like, I gotta good job Microsoft. That's a great price for this. Like, they could be greedy. They could go even higher. I know there's a subgroup of people out there that goes like anything that's older than 10 years should be damn near free, if not $5. And I guess I get that, but good price point for the game. They could have went more with it.
yeah.
$40 is mid tier now. That's a mid tier game.
All right, and so to wrap up our news, because our fifth thing is another news item.
Mm-hmm.
John, what do you got?
Well, it's not every day you get one of these, Nick. And so while it might not be the most exciting thing in the world, it is definitely incredibly relevant. But we have a brand new, fresh off the boat studio and joining the PlayStation Studios family. Best way to do these, as I usually do at this point, Nick, is kind of just read the press release from the PlayStation blog. But just at a glance, the team is called teamLFG. They were originated at Bungie. They were kind of a spin-off team that was working on Gummy Bears, and there's been rumblings of this happening in the industry. They've been discussing that, rumors indicate this team is going to become its own thing, and today they announced that. So we'll let Herman Holst take it away, president of SIE, or president of PlayStation Studios. Today I am thrilled to officially unveil a new studio in the PlayStation Studios family. teamLFG originated at Bungie, but has also rallied developers from across the industry to bring to life an ambitious incubation project that I'm very excited about. The studio is now fully formed and ready to be introduced to the world. I'll let teamLFG introduce themselves properly and give a tiny glimpse into what they've been working on. And this is from the teamLFG themselves. Hello, world. It's a delight to meet you, and we're very grateful to be joining PlayStation Studios. Our studio is headquartered in Bellevue, Washington, with team members working both on-site and remotely throughout the U.S. and Canada. We are a team composed not just of industry veterans who have shipped titles like Destiny, Halo, League of Legends, Fortnite, Roblox, and Rec Room, but also industry newcomers with fresh creative perspectives and skills. We are passionate about exceptional action-based gameplay, moment-to-moment game feel, and richly social virtual worlds. The LFG in Team LFG stands for Looking for Group. We are driven by a mission to create games where players can find friendship, community, and belonging. We want our players to feel excited when they log on to discover their teammates already hanging out online. We want our players to recognize familiar names and to make myths and memes out of each other. We want our players to love remembering that one time where they pulled off that play that changed the whole story of the match. As we say on the team, that's the good stuff. We will make immersive multiplayer worlds propelled by action games that players can learn, play, and master for countless hours. We want to build our games with our communities, inviting players to be a part of our development process, though through early access playtests. It's critical that we stay nimble enough to react to player feedback, not just in our lead up to launch, but throughout live service as we continue to grow the game and community for years to come. Our first game is a team-based action game that draws inspiration from fighting games, platformers, MOBAs, life sims, and frog-type games. We're all as confused as everybody else is. Players will inhabit a light-hearted comedic world set in a brand new mythic science fantasy universe. We can't wait to reveal more. Till then, we'll do our best. Thanks for reading Team LFG. What are your takeaways, Nick?
You got to prove it. I mean, we're talking another Sony studio with an unproven track record, and they're announcing a live service game. We've been here before.
Yes, we have.
And we're seeing how Marathon will do with a trusted, proven developer in Bungie. So yeah, you can say all you want, but until you release a game or at least show it off, I really don't have much to say. You're a champion of this idea of proven directors in movies, proven developers in video games. You got to prove yourself, and Sony's track record with live service games is abysmal. So we'll just leave it at that.
I am a champion. Thank you, Nick. I agree. This just it's playing out the same way that Firewalk did. We know what happened with them, and they're now shut down. Buying a team like Neon Koi, not working with them prior, and then now they're shut down. Haven is still TBD. Fair Games as a very big uphill battle in my eyes. I can't imagine that game's gonna show much differently than Concord or even Marathon recently did. But yeah, it's hard not to feel a little cynical, a little cynical about this announcement. While I appreciate the way that they're trying to communicate, they're saying good things for the people who care about this space, right? We're going to take feedback. We're going to be nimble. We're going to innovate. We're going to try and be quick to enact the things that you guys want. But at the same time, I'd be loath to bring up that we fell in love. Everybody, not everybody, but a large portion of the people who have championed you, PlayStation, for the last 15 years, fell in love with you because of the high quality narrative experiences. And I don't think that should be the only thing you do. And it's not. It's just after every announcement, with the exception of maybe Housemarque and Bluepoint, since they bought Insomniac back in 2018, it just all kind of feels like, well, we're trying this again. Well, we're trying this one again. We're going to try it again. And it's like, yeah, maybe one hits, and I hope it does, because that will be a boon for the studio. That will be a boon for everybody. We have money to work with now. This is amazing. Cool. Here we go. This is such not an announcement for the 35-year-old dude that just plays games by himself. Like, it is absolutely not what I'm looking for.
Maybe your son will be into it.
Maybe my son will be into it, and that's cool. But I would encourage everybody out there, the game that they're discussing at the end of that, right, the one that's somehow a frog-type game. Explain to me what that is. Gummy Bears is, I believe, what that is. So they've shown off little key artwork about it. Incredibly colorful.
We've talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
It seems to be the game that has a lot of buzz internally. What that means for us, who knows? But it seems like internally there's a lot of energy around playing this thing.
Gummy Bears.
And as John described it, who knows what that combination of things will turn into. But yeah, maybe they'll have their Fall Guys, Helldivers moment, and it'll be this big thing. But yeah, it's hard to get excited about the description.
I hope whatever it is something unique. I don't like this trend chasing thing that Sony seems to be trying to do, the industry in general, and that's not a brand new thing. We've been chasing trends since forever. But hopefully this is not, despite Nick and I disagreeing a little bit on where Marathon will ultimately end up and how quickly, if they want to find success in this space, it cannot just be a clone of something else. It has to be wholly unique. The Bungie or Bungie adjacent devs are the perfect team to do it. They just have to make it something unlike anything else. That's you can get your Apex Legends, you can get your PUBG was the first battle royale, and we obviously saw immense success after that. But now we're turning through the extraction shooter thing. This can't just be another extraction shooter. This can't just be another MOBA. This can't just be another one of those. And it seems like they might be onto something, but that's Team LFG for you. I'm sure everybody thought it was Team Let's Fucking Go, which I'm glad it's not, because that is very, as the kids say, cringe. But wish them luck. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Again, we'll see. I guess final thing before we move off of this, is a Sony showcase imminent or a state of play?
We'll get one
in May.
Yeah, we'll get one end of May, early
maybe
June.
See what this is.
Yeah, it'd be weird to announce the team and then not show it off in the next thing.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
With a God, they're gonna probably release it around Grand Theft Auto 6. Hopefully, yeah, and hopefully they have like some time frames to.
Yeah,
I imagine it'd be like this feels like if it's in a playable state. people are hyped about it. It's probably looking at next spring-ish.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. So
I mean, there hasn't been really rumors about a state of play, and it seems like they always start building up. But I mean, we are a month away from the Xbox Showcase, Summer Game Fest. And typically, Sony has snuck in right before those things.
Yeah.
In the past year, so maybe that'll happen, and we'll see this game there.
I want to see Intergalactic. I want to see gameplay of that. Ooh, do I want to see gameplay of that? I know we're not going.
Maybe the Game Awards.
Yeah, I'm not saying here. It won't be at the next thing, but just thinking of.
I mean, if it's a Sony showcase, possible, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But state of play, no.
Or would I rather see Saros gameplay? I don't know.
They did say that they're going to show gameplay later this year.
Yeah.
So that is going to happen. So, but
Gameplay.
will it be now? Will it be the September state of play? Who knows? But all right.
No one knows.
We can move on to the final thing. John has been keeping something from us.
Yeah, I completely forgot about this one last week, guys. Sorry.
He's hiding
Nick,
it.
Nick always
he
asks
doesn't
me,
want
like,
to show. He's embarrassed.
Right. But I did beat and platinum a game, and it was a great one at that. But before I get into that, Nick, I do want to have a little Final Fantasy VII Rebirth addendum, because I did beat that as well, and I just want to simply say, excellent final act.
John beat a big AAA game.
I did it, guys. I did it. Excellent wrap up to the game. Arguably, probably my favorite section of the game, just because it finally felt like the story beats are hitting. We're finally getting something going with Sephiroth, who, despite Shinra, despite the Turks, despite all that, he is the villain of the story. At least to me, as a guy who's not so knows this world inside and out. So it was very satisfying to see that. I think Aerith deserves more love than she gets. Tifa and her rockin' tits just get all the attention. But Aerith, I think, is a more complete character, and I liked watching her arc kind of, play out. And I thought having Cloud, kind of what they did with his character at the end of that, I wasn't really expecting that. And is that that's in the original, obviously, as well, huh? Where he kind of starts to not.
It's not quite the same, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you'll learn more about that.
Sure. So, really, really great. I mean, does it change my score of an 8? Probably not. But like I said, it's definitely a better game as a whole than my 8 is. So,
and you got to hand it to you. You did it. We're 8 days away from Doom as we're recording here, and you're
I fit it in.
You're geared up. You're ready to go. So
feels good, man. My backlog is as empty as it's ever been.
Wow.
So it's nice.
I love it. I love to hear it.
But the other game that I beat, I don't know if I said this already, Split Fiction.
No, you did not.
Yes, I beat Split Fiction. I platinumed it. It's the first game that I ever got a platinum with my son which was fun. But
cheating. That's cheating.
It's not cheating.
Stricken it from the record.
I have kids, buddy.
You lose. It doesn't count towards your total platinums that you're above me.
So it's like a tin cup kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Whatever.
I'm just kidding. It counts.
I have volunteered my services for you, good sir, to help you get that platinum. Should you want, even though you can't because you didn't buy it. Anyway, I've talked about this game a little bit. I think the last time I discussed it, I was about halfway through and singing its praises on a co-op experience, how tight the gameplay is, how creative it all is. None of that has changed. This game is a banger from start to finish. We're not going to get into a bunch of spoilers, but where this game obviously truly shines is just the raw creativeness that the gameplay holds, right? Where you are going to be coming across brand new ideas, brand new settings, brand new abilities from the very moment you start till the end, right? You get to the final boss fight of this game and you are doing mechanics and little things. And if you've played It Takes Two or Split Fiction, when I say little things, it's just it's an entirely wholly new mechanic. It's not just oh, you're jumping up a wall now. It's no, this shit is it's a fresh idea that they had to code and program and make sure it fit into it. And so
you'll never see it again.
Exactly. It's there, and it's just it. When you see that stuff over and over and over again, it really makes you kind of as a player appreciate the developer and it's almost like you're reaching through the screen and shaking the hand of the developer where it's we understand each other. I'm here to support you. You're here to support me. We're going to get your back. You get our back. I think this game just already passed the $4 million sales mark. It Takes Two past $20 million.
4 million physical sales. Or sales of the game. It probably made more money than $4 million.
Oh, did I say dollars? Sorry.
Yeah, you said
4 million sales. Yes. So, it just seems like everybody is on the same page here. And
and it's like a breath of fresh air. I'm playing the game, but I have not beat it yet. But it's a breath of fresh air kind of game, and that's what I kind of like appreciate it more than anything. It's like it's just something you're not going to experience anywhere else, despite this being a indirect sequel to It Takes Two. But yeah, it just feels good to play. Like that's all it is. It's like I'm enjoying myself. I have that smile on my face, and the excitement of going into those side quests, into the next world. It's like it's unreal.
Every time you see a side quest, you get a little
yeah. 'Cause you have no idea. You have no idea.
It's kind of like going into an Astrobot level,
right?
It's a good comparison. But and I think the game arguably got better as it went. One of my sticking points with the intro or the beginning parts of the game is like, okay, these characters kind of suck. Like, okay, one's super mopey, the other one's super bubbly. I get it. You guys are at odds with each other. This is annoying. But by the end, they do a very good job, better than they did in It Takes Two for sure, of making you care, of making you understand the reasons that these people are the way they are, or like how they actually do form. Spoilers, they form friendship at the end, right?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought, right? But like how they get there is very well done.
And just another game that there's a reason they're writers and they're creators, right? And I think the game, at least where I'm at, explores that in a at least an interesting way. Like you said, and It Takes Two. They were just so terrible to each other for most of that game that. You really didn't get behind them, and even at the end, I don't think I really knew where it was going to go.
Well, and that's kind of why
they're going to be together or not. But
right, and that's why I think it fell flat, because you're like, yeah, you guys suck. Like, what? What do you mean? This doesn't make sense. But no, they do a good job with this one. Yeah, I mean, if I were to critique any little thing about it, I think they, while the platinum was fun, I don't know if I like the way that they structure their trophies. Hazelight, the developers, where it's like. It's usually every trophy is just kind of like this little hidden thing that like it's not going to take you any extra time. It's not going to take you any effort. It's just like you just got to make sure you go do it.
You got to find it.
And like they're always hidden, and the trophies are always obtuse like phrasing, and so it's like going through and getting the platinum with Levi, my son, was fun, but every single time it was just like, okay, what portal do I need to go to? Okay, there's that, and then do this one thing. It takes 3 seconds. Okay, let's go to the next one, and let's go to the next one.
Right.
And maybe it is a very hard game to do trophies for, because like the mechanics are they keep shifting and they keep changing, and unless if you're battling against time and things like that, there's not a ton of gameplay elements to be like kill 400 bad guys or anything like that. But overall, I think this game is very special. For anybody who doesn't know at this point, like it's awesome that you can buy it and then play with a friend. All the Hazelight stuff is there. This is, for me, a 9 out of 10. I am very close with a 10. It's a 10 out of 10 co-op experience. But I also don't want to just say, like, the writing is, it's fine. So
the writing is bringing it down that point.
Bringing it down a little bit, right? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to just, like, get myself to a point where it's like 10s should be special, right? They should be. And this is a very special game. But it's also nothing I'm ever going to really want to go back and play again. Like
that's always a good point
for like I've done everything.
What a 10 means is like I just want to keep playing it.
Right.
I want to do another run.
Or even if you don't want to do another run right now, like in the future, be like, oh, this is going to be a game that I come back to every, like The Last of Us 2. I'm going to play that game once every 10 years or something.
It does kind of remind me of like going into like Deadpool and Wolverine, like the fun of going into that. The first thing is like you don't know what's going to happen, right? Like the cameos, the crazy moments, and same thing with this game. Like half the fun is what we just talked about, going into the portals, the new levels. When you take that excitement and what's going to be next feeling away from the game, and you know what's happening next, I think you're right. It doesn't keep that same level.
Great point. Yeah, or even the flip side of it, where I feel like if I were to play it again with anybody, I'd be like, oh no, this part.
Yeah.
Oh no, this part. You just kind of do that as opposed to like kind of embracing it a little bit more because it is fresh and new, as opposed to like, oh, I remember how frustrated I got here.
Right.
And that is maybe another little thing. Like as we got further in the game, Levi did struggle at certain points. It gets a little tough. Nothing crazy. But for an 8-year-old boy, he's just kind of like, I don't like this part. Look, can we get? No, you got to tough it up, buddy.
Right.
Sorry.
There's no skip button here.
Yeah. So incredible game. High recommend to. Like it's a game that I literally could recommend to anybody, and that's probably its strongest thing. If you play video games, if you know how video games work, you're going to like this. You know, and you're absolutely right. You just kind of have a smile on your face the whole time. It's much like, this is such a weird analogy, but like when I'm watching a Charlie Chaplin movie, silent movie plug here, I'm always smiling. I'm always like, I'm never like belly laughing or like anything like this, but I'm always like, this is charming. This is great. Like, I like this, and you feel good at the end of it, and awesome. Good job, Hazelight. Good job, Joseph Ferris.
Yeah, I mean they're legendary status now. I mean,
yeah,
you've had 2 gigantic successes.
They kind of have a very similar trajectory, I feel like, to like something like Supergiant, where it's like, you know, they came out with the first game, A Way Out, Bastion, really beloved. They innovated, did a little bit more, and then eventually, after like 2 or 3 or 4 tries, it's like, oh, okay, here's Hades, here's Split Fiction. Like we've figured it out now, and to where every single time they, you know, Nick and I think. Famously on this podcast, we didn't believe in this one. Just didn't think it would do it again, and no more of that.
I figured they could do it. I just don't. I think the innovation would have worn off, but no. I was wrong about that.
And the final level, no spoilers, it is pretty much as good as everybody says it is. It's one of those like, how did you fucking program this? How did you do this? And so I'm excited for you to get through it. If your partner will ever play with you, and if they won't, like I said, I own it. We can be buddies.
Fine. I'm in no rush. There's
I could
lot of games out.
I could give the disc to you, and then we could start a whole fresh thing, and then you can get the platinum if you wanted.
All right.
If you
well, yeah, based on your review scores, so this is your game of the year so far.
So far, my game of the year, yeah.
For another week.
Probably. But yeah, it was a very, very, very solid top to bottom.
Yeah. And then again, it was just funny because I think after we had recorded last week, I was like, "You didn't talk about this, and you platinumed it. It seems weird that whoops, you know." But
my headspace is so taken up with baseball right now, I'm coaching all 2 of my son's teams, and it's just like I can't.
Right, fair enough. All right, well, cool.
Yeah.
So that's the 6 things we brought for you today. Let's get into some teases. I was teasing before we recorded, John. We're going to get a look at Mafia: The Old Country is going to get a little bit of a reveal this week. Probably by the time you listen to this, it'll already be out there. But, you know, a little bit curious.
Listeners, if you care, let us know, because I don't think either of us care.
No, not the Mafia franchise.
So,
is
not
something
you want us to take a look at. And I've never played any of them. It's always felt like more boring Grand Theft Auto to me.
Right, yeah.
So... Not to shit on it if somebody is like, oh, cool, they're going to talk about Mafia.
I mean, it does take place in Italy. That is something, but nothing so far has really grabbed me. So it is a game that needs a kind of a blowout to like kind of get more eyes on it, because it isn't, now that 2K doesn't have Grand Theft Auto, they got this in Borderlands, and so hopefully this game can deliver as well. But
you gonna have Claire done by next week, you think?
Maybe. I'm still working through Claire. I'm about 17, 18 hours in, so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Cool.
If I decide to platinum it, maybe it'll take a little longer. But
is it? What's the shittiest thing?
You got to get your characters to level 99.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what that looks like. If you beat the game, you're at level 86, and I'm like, okay.
And there's like some final dungeon that you can just level your
right.
shit
If
real
I'm
quick,
going for all the achievements anyway or trophies, I can get it anyway. But no, I'm loving that game. I'll have more thoughts next week. My only advice is don't let the early game mechanics intimidate you, especially involving a lot of the systems, and a lot of the new characters all are completely wild and different. It is actually pretty incredible how the depth of each character and how differently they play from each other. It's pretty great, and why this game is doing so well. But yeah, I'll have more about that is for sure. I know you won't have Doom, but we'll have Doom reviews.
We'll have Doom reviews. We get those on Friday.
Will it take down Claire?
They're going to sit really close. They're going to be, I feel like, a 1 point away from each other either way. I don't know. Is it the 91 or 93? But I think it should be right about there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything above 90, 90 and above would be fantastic for Doom.
Yeah.
Again, with not as many games coming out this year, it'd be nice. Yeah, Doom was a slam dunk as well, but I don't see how it won't be. But you never know. Cool.
Well, yeah, and speaking of, not to be intimidated by games, but yeah, I'm still I'm about halfway through Nine Souls also, which is a Metroidvania parry-based game that came out last year in May. The game is fucking dope, dude. It's dope. Like, I don't remember who it was. I believe it was Jesse who wrote in a while ago talking about don't get discouraged with Sekiro. I get it now. I get it. Like, I'm thinking, like, after Nine Souls and probably after Doom, maybe it's time to give Sekiro another try, because I don't know why I didn't really kind of consider it, but it's just like the first Hollow Knight was the same exact way. The first thing you do when you come into a boss fight is you just have to learn their moveset. That you don't even try to really fight him yet, because you're going to get stomped, and it is what it is. But these movesets are not as crazy as you think they are. No. It's like we probably have like 4 or 5 different attacks. So once you get the timing, and then you can parry, and it feels very satisfying when you get through a fight that you got your shit stuffed in earlier. And so really, really having fun with that. And I will have more thoughts on that when I beat it. Hopefully. I might be able to. I'm really feeling it, man. I might be able to get this done before Doom. We'll see.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. And then, who knows what news will pop up next week.
Right. PlayStations are now $1,400.
Oh, God. Don't.
At what point do we just become PC people?
Please no. All right. Well, that's it. That is it for the show. We thank you for listening. We love you out there. Take care of yourself.
No.
Yeah,
our song.
No songs.
Our precious song.
We still need to get a song, but...
oh, yeah, I was going to sing, right.
But, yeah, take care of yourself out there. Play some video games. There's so many good ones coming out or going to be out, so...
Enjoy the weather if you live in a climate that changes and stuff.
Right.
It's nice now.
Yeah, plenty of stuff to look forward to. Again, we're just a month away from, game announcement season and getting another pretty look at a bunch of cool video games that will consume our lives. So thanks for listening. And again, we'll be back next week with up to 6 things.
Go Tigers.
Bye.